What's up, egg salad sandwiches? It's me, Humpty Alexander Dumpty, coming at you again with another video. So today, I thought I'd change it up a bit. I'm going to be carving out these AAC blocks into ant nests. And I'm basically just going to be showing you how to do it and all the tools you need and everything. So yeah, let's get to the tools. So you don't really need anything too crazy for this. All you're gonna need is a pencil or a pen, a small flathead screwdriver, and a larger flathead screwdriver. You honestly could just do the small one, but the larger one is just easier for bigger parts. And then a saw. So, I already cut out the AAC blocks. We're making 2 nests today. One for my harvester ants and one for my sugar ants. So, here. Got both of them here. Now, I already cut the blocks out because it's a hassle. You know, basically all you do is just like mark how big you want it to be with the pencil on the big block. And then you're just gonna cut it with this. So pretty easy. My block was about this thick, about as thick as both of these. So I just cut it into the square and then cut it in half. So yeah, it's pretty easy to cut it out. A lot of dust, so make sure you do it outside. And even then, if it's really windy, you should put some like kind of mask on or something. Just in case you don't want any of those particles getting in to your lungs or anything like that. So yeah, let's get to the process of marking out where we're gonna want the tunnels on these. So let's do that. Alrighty, so I'm gonna do it first on this one. This one's going to be for my sugar ants. So we're probably gonna wanna have a entrance probably about right here. Tubing that I have isn't too big, so it'd probably fit in there. So maybe just like draw it about here. So about right here. Just gonna draw where the tube is gonna go. So it's gonna be entrance right here, and then I mean, it'd just be like a small little like cavern. Nothing crazy. We don't want it to be too small though. So yeah, I mean, that's probably just how it's gonna look, just a circle, kind of like oval shape. And then up here is where the watering part will be. There'll be a sponge in there, and there'll be a hole in the acrylic where I can put a needle in and inject water. So yeah, so that's basically it for this part, for like this founding nest at least. For bigger ones, you can obviously do more intricate, and for like different species who need certain things, you can do like different, you know, patterns and everything. That's what I'm going to be showing you on this one. This is going to be for harvester ants, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated than just a little circle. So, I mean, they got the same tubing and everything, but hang on now. It's a little bit slanted. See, it's not perfectly straight. So I'm just going to use the saw real quick and just kind of flatten it out a bit. Make sure to be very careful with this part. I know it doesn't look like I'm being careful, but I am. Trust me. Yeah, good enough. Just gonna wipe away all the excess dust. Now I did just wash these. They dry pretty quickly when they're just out and about. But yeah, I just washed these off, so they're gonna be a little bit easier to dig into. and there's gonna be less dust all over them. So put the entrance about here. Now you can just place it anywhere. Should I make 2 entrances? I don't think that's really necessary for small ones like this. But, you know, maybe it is for you if you want that. Of course, just make the little entrance thingy right here. And, yeah, I mean, it'll be very similar to the last one. Just kind of make a little cavern. Then maybe just a little offshoot place right here for them to store seeds. Let me just make it a little bigger. Nothing crazy. And then just bigger cavern right here. So the cavern, the middle cavern is a little bit smaller than this one because this one has more space. Go over here. And then we'll just make the little watering port. So the reason I did like 2 caverns on this one is because harvester ants store seeds, and if it's too wet in the spot where the seeds are stored, then they'll germinate and sprout, and we do not want that because they can get all moldy and stuff. So it's just like a whole process, bad stuff. So over here is probably where the brood, like the little babies and the queen, will be stored. This is where most of the ants will be. And then over here is where the seeds can go. So it's not as wet over here. So, yeah. So let's get to carving them out now. This is probably the hardest part, but it's kind of fun. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that on camera because it's going to be really hard to carve it out and have the camera right here. So I'm just going to do one and then show you, and then do the other one and show you, and just basically tell you how I did it. So yeah, I'll see you then. Oh man, my arms hurt so bad. Finally, after like freaking 30 minutes of hacking away, I got this done. I'm gonna go wash it off, and then I'll show you guys the finished product of this one. Alright, so I just washed it off, and this is how it looks. Now I am gonna paint it after it dries and everything, but that's how it's looking. I sadly do not think that in this video I can do the other one also. It just took so long and it was so hard. Now my arms hurt. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'll see you when it dries and I paint it. Alrighty, so it's completely dry now. I got all the dust off of it, and it looks super cool and nice. I think, at least. I think it looks pretty cool. But now, I'm going to be doing a completely optional step. I'm going to be painting it. I'm going to use this orange, this light orange, kind of like peach kind of color. I just got this out of it's just like some acrylic paint. I got a paintbrush, and then I have a little piece of tape that I'm going to put the paint on and then paint it on. So I'm going to do a time-lapse of that, and I'll see you after that. Alright, there we go. That took a little bit, and I know that might have been a little bit painful to watch for anybody who paints like miniatures or stuff like that, because I just put it on so thick. But yeah, looks pretty good. Orange cube. Notice I left the inside white. That's just a design choice. I just think it looks better. And paint actually has some good, like some good comes out of painting it, not just for looks. It can help keep like water into the AAC, into the nest, and it's just good to look at, just fun to look at. But yeah, catch you back when this dries, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it has finished drying, and this is how it looks. I didn't paint the bottom because you're not gonna see that. There's just no point in wasting paint. But anyways, I finished painting. It's a little bit spotty on like the little holes and stuff, so that's a little bit annoying, but I can live with it. So I just cut out this piece of acrylic right here, just from acrylic sheet. Fits on there pretty good. Or I believe it goes this way, yeah. Nice acrylic sheet, you can see the light. But yeah, nice little acrylic sheet. And I'm just gonna be connecting it on with this like sticky tack kind of stuff here that I have, because you know it's the simplest way. But I know, like if you've seen the video, you'll see the resemblance, but this video is kind of like the Ants Australia video, how to build an ant nest, AAC. It took a lot of inspiration from that video, and I mean, it's just got good tips, so I was like, hey, why not make a similar video? But anyways, you just kind of take this stuff and just put it all around the nest and stuff, and then stick the glass on, or acrylic, or whatever kind of like clear plastic you're using. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll see you then. All right, there we go. So I put it on around the nest, and this, as you can see, is not perfectly flat, so that's why I just put it around the nest and not just around, because I'm bad at cutting and it's not flat. So if that wasn't around the nest, then the ants could probably just escape out the sides. See? So yeah, this nest is not that good, but I should just next time use the top. The top is perfectly flat and flush, but I used the side that I cut. So, but I did that because there's like the chipped corner. But I'll know that for next time. But yeah, here it is. Here's the finished product. You can just like stick a little needle under there and put water in that. But yeah, you can just like stick the tube in there, and your ants will, you know, have a nice little home. So that's gonna be for today's video. If you liked this video, you know, like the video, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.